Hello everyone, I'm here with my next video on competency-based questions for class 10. This is the first part. I'll be coming up with more videos. Let's get started. This video is based on literature. Let's see question 1. A few days after the experience, the narrator sat with his wife and recalled a long conversation he had had with his young son the day before. The narrator's son had spoken to him about his close friend Freddie and many ways Freddie helped him. When the narrator suggested inviting Freddie home for lunch, his wife casually said, "Freddie is like your friend in the black aeroplane." That night, the narrator decided to record his thoughts in his diary to clear his head. As the narrator, write the diary entry. February 28, 2000, whatever year you are doing. Sunday, 10 p.m. So this is the date, day and time. Dear diary, what a mystifying experience. Who saved me when I had lost all contacts on the radio with Paris control? Who was the pilot of the black aeroplane who helped me to land safely without a compass, without the radio and without much fuel? These questions had been haunting me since past few days, but they still remain unsolved puzzle. Even the lady in the control room couldn't detect any other plane on the stormy night other than the old Dakota on the radar. The mysterious pilot of the black aeroplane was like God's help sent to me to land safely. I was in real trouble before the mysterious black aeroplane appeared before me. I was lost, and to make things worse, my compass became dead. God knows what would have been my condition had the pilot of the black aeroplane not guided me out of the storm clouds to safety. Whoever it was, I will always be grateful to him and will try to help anyone in need. Question 2. Imagine yourself to be the narrator of Midgebill the otter. A friend of yours is confused about whether to adopt an otter as a pet or not and has asked for your advice. Based on the experiences described in the chapter, write a letter to your friend giving your opinion on the matter. You may use the prompts given below. So here's the address: XYZ Camusferna, Sandiag Bay, UK, 4 December, whatever the date, year, whatever you want to put. Dear Kevin, trust you two are doing well. I'm glad to know that you are interested in adopting a pet. Believe me, your life is going to change absolutely after a pet enters your life. Adopting an otter is one of the best decisions of your life. I advise you to bring your thought into action at the earliest. No doubt, otters prove to be the best companions. They demand nothing in turn of their unconditional love and company they provide you with. I have been living with Midge for several years now. What I want to share with you is that otters are very intelligent and fun-loving animals. The main characteristic of an otter is to extend and spread every drop of water. Midge loves to juggle with small objects with his paws lying on his back. His favorite toy is marbles. If you want, you can accompany me to Basra. I'm going there the next week. You too can get an otter from there. Believe me, it will be a great fun. Waiting for a positive response from your end. Yours affectionately, Gavin. Question 3. Albert Einstein said, "The important thing is to never stop questioning." Richard was a genius who proved this quote true. Justify. So here we are talking about Richard Ebright. The answer is surely this statement is true in case of Richard because not even once he allowed himself to detach from his work. He very diligently worked towards achieving his purpose. This hard work and undying commitment towards his purpose brought him a lot of laurels and respect in the world. He kept working so that he could reach his aim without letting any obstacle come in his way. His scientific bent of mind led him to carry on experiment after experiment and reach to a purposeful conclusion. He worked consistently, be it regarding collection of butterflies or studying the nature of monarchs and viceroy butterflies or even working of cells or hormones secreted by spots on pupa. He did a lot of research work for debates, MUN sessions, and even for scientific inventions. All this was possible due to his curiosity to explore. In his efforts to reach his goal, he was helped by many people in his journey, especially his mother, whose contribution towards his success cannot be denied. Though Richard was a genius himself, but never even once did he stop midway to conclude his work. He very patiently took each step one by one to make success out of him. This shows if one sets his eyes on something, he will achieve it no matter how difficult the path is. Question 4. Sometimes deception is a way of life. Explain this statement by citing facts from the lesson The Thief's Story. For some people, deception is a way to lead life easily. Such people deceive others by changing their own names, identities, and making excuses to devise a new way of making money. Anil was the most trustworthy person Hari Singh had ever met. But Hari Singh was a thief and couldn't be expected to be honest with Anil. He came to Anil with a false identity. He found Anil simple-minded who could be easily fooled. He took undue advantage of his trust. Anil had blind faith in human nature. He employed him just out of sympathy and compassion for him. He trusted him and ignored his misdeed. He handed over all financial transactions without any verification. In a way, he gave him a chance to improve. He knew everything when Hari Singh stole money and came back, but he didn't say anything. It made Hari Singh realize his mistake and leave the style of deception as a way of life. Question 5. Imagine you are one of the columnists in a magazine. People write to you about their issues seeking your advice. Matilda writes to you about the guilt she feels for having lost a necklace and how it changed the course of her life and her husband's. Suppose you are Matilda, write to Mr. J. Also write what would Mr. J's advice be to her. So let us start. The editor, Mr. J. It's a pleasure to write of my woes in your column. You are the best advisor to everybody's problems. You lent a patient ear to each of your guests. Now please heed to me and be the best advisor to me. I'm into depression mode as I recently lost a diamond necklace of my friend which I had borrowed for a party. No amount of pacifying from my husband M. Lozelle could bring me out of this feeling. Though I was cynosure of everybody's eyes in the party, the loss of necklace brought it all down. After losing it, I got so worried as how I will face my friend now. All through this, my husband has been very supportive of me. His immense love and faith in me sailed me through this time. He did all in his capacity to get me out of it. To pay the necklace, we bought another necklace by borrowing a lot of money on interest, which has made our lives very difficult, and we now live a life of penury with meager income to support us. We changed our lodging to a small one. I do all the household chores, washing, carrying buckets of water from ground to the top floor, bargaining till the last sou while buying things. All this has changed me and the way I look tremendously. My husband too does extra work of typing and book copying after office. How should I help myself to get out of this? Now, Mr. Jay's reply, well, Matilda, whatever happens, happens for the best. So put your worries across and think of your future ahead. You have suffered enough. Now think of brighter side of life and learn from your mistakes. I would suggest you to be happy and content with whatever you have. I'm sure you will be out of it soon. Question 6. The tiger in the zoo is pacing back and forth in his enclosure, restless and frustrated. He sees Mandela in the next cage over and they make eye contact. The man is old and tired, but there is fire in his eyes. They begin to speak to each other, each in their own language, but understanding each other perfectly. Imagine that they both are discussing about achieving freedom and never giving up hope. You may begin like this. The tiger says, I was born wild, free, but I was captured and put in the zoo. Let us continue. I long to be free again, to roam the forest and plains. I should be in a jungle, hiding in a shadow to hunt for a prey, but I am locked in the concrete cell. My strength is behind the bars. I long to be free again, to roam the forest and plains. Mandela replies, I too was born free, free to run in the fields, swim in the river and abide by the rules of my tribe till I was a child. But when I grew up, I realized that all men of my color were not free. We were tortured and oppressed. I protested and was ripped away from my family and imprisoned. I have been in this prison for years. I too long to be free again. The tiger asks, what is freedom? Mandela replies, freedom is the ability to live as we choose, to do as we please, to be free from oppression, discrimination, and tyranny. The tiger says, that sounds like a very difficult thing to achieve. I'm not sure I could ever be truly free. Mandela says, I think it's something we all strive for. It's the reason we fight for justice and equality. It's what gives us strength to keep going, even when the odds are against us. The tiger was inspired by Mandela's words and he vowed to never give up hope that one day he would be free again. Question 7. In the chapter Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, the swearing-in ceremony represented a shared victory for justice, peace and human dignity over the most despised apartheid regime based on racial discrimination. Similarly, in the poem The Trees, the hard-fought victory for the trees has been achieved. They have been freed from the artificial glass house that held them captive. Imagine Nelson Mandela is congratulating trees on their victory in a letter in which he describes what freedom meant to him. You may begin like this. Dear trees, it is with great joy that I write to you today on the occasion of your freedom. Let's continue. I can imagine the elation you must be feeling after so many years of captivity, and I join you in celebrating this momentous occasion. I'm writing to you today to talk about freedom. For me, freedom is something that I have fought for all my life. It is something that I believe everyone deserves, no matter who they are or where they come from. Freedom is the open window through which pours the sunlight of human spirit and human dignity. I know that you have seen a lot of things in your lifetime, and I'm sure you have your own ideas about what freedom means. For me, it is about being able to live my life the way I want to without interference from anyone else. It is about being able to speak my mind and express my opinions without fear of retribution. I know that there are many people in the world who do not have these freedoms, and I'm committed to fighting for them. Yours sincerely, Nelson Mandela. I hope this video was helpful to you. Competency based questions depends on your thinking talent and skills. So definitely you can add more points to these answers. Do like, comment, share and subscribe. If you are a newcomer, please subscribe my channel. Press the bell icon for the latest notifications. All the best for your exams. Bye.